Hey, how's it going, everybody? Coach Jason with Arm Pitching Development back for this week's segment. I'm going to give you guys something that I haven't covered in quite a little while is a cool down and a recovery for your arm and your body. First thing to note, why is that important? Why do we want to do a cool down? Why do we want to do a recovery on our arm after we've thrown a ball or pitched a baseball for your game or for your practice? This is for anyone that has thrown a baseball, or pitchers or any throwers out there should be doing a recovery or should be doing some sort of cool down process after they've stressed out their shoulder, stressed out their arm and their body after they've thrown. Important thing to know is, why is a cool down or a recovery important for throwing athletes? Listen, one is because you want to increase blood flow to help with recovery of the muscle and get rid of lactic acid that's been building up through the course of your activity during that time frame. Increasing blood flow is going to be important for healing. Being active, getting active through your cool down is going to help in that regard. It also, cool down and recovery also helps you come back quicker to your activity. So have you ever felt soreness? Have you ever felt, that you couldn't come back the next day after you've pitched a duration, or maybe 1 inning or 2 innings, or even playing third base or shortstop, and you've thrown the ball a lot? You're going to get sore. It's going to help you. Cool down and recovery is going to help you come back faster to the next game or to your next practice. Fourth point on why we want to cool down or recover our arms is that it's going to help reduce the risk of injury. So whenever we put that much tension on our joints, on our muscles, you have the ability to possibly get into injury of overuse. Okay, so cool down and recovery helps us sustain ourselves, helps with flexibility, it helps with range of motion, helps with mobility in our joints, and will help you combat some of the risks of injury in the long run. Do recovery drills at the park after your game or after your practice, at home. These things can be done close quartered, so don't feel like it's got to be at a special place at a special time. This should be done exactly the time at the end of your practice or at the end of your game. So the first activity that we're covering in our recovery and cool down phase is the waiter walk. So we're putting a little tension in the shoulder, we're putting a little more tension in the arm. When you let go of the weight, it's going to increase blood flow going to the shoulder joint, going to your arm. What you'll see is an elevation in kind of a 90-degree format here. This would be important for stabilization in the shoulder joint and for your arm. The next one you're going to see here is called upward toss. Upward toss, we're going into range of motion, we're going into strength, mobility of the joint. We're increasing the blood flow by strength of rep when we go into this frame of motion here, going into this exercise or activity. Doing an upward toss is helping in the long run increase blood flow. Okay, now you're going to see on our third exercise series is a band hold series that we do here at Arm Pitching Development. The band hold series acts as a constriction to the muscle. And then once we come off of that constriction, then you're going to get an increased blood flow there, and it's going to help with your recovery in the long run. We've got 5 main forms on the band hold series that we do here at Arm. One is going to be your reverse fly. The second one is going to be your reverse post. So everything we're doing is posterior shoulder on these. The third one is your reverse Nelson, or your Nelson holds. This is the one you're seeing here that are behind the head in an upward fashion. The important thing to note here is to keep your shoulder blades engaged, keep your elbows elevated on these drills. The fourth one you're going to see is a snow ski reverse. So you're pulling the band back in an upward fashion with your chest, keeping your shoulder blades engaged, and putting it back into your subscap and your teres minor on the backside of your cuff there. So on the fifth one is a no money hold. So again, what I would recommend as you're seeing this is to go in and start close to the clip, get your form set, and then walk back to your furthest resistance point with that and feel the engagement. Hold the position as long as you can, and when you feel like the muscle is tired and done, then go ahead and release your hold. Okay, next here you're going to see some examples of kind of a lunge or power position reverse throw. Okay, so we're opening up the spine, the lumbar, the T-spine, We're opening up the shoulder, the posterior cuff, as we're throwing the ball back into the wall with a little bit of weight to it. This is a good finisher. You don't have to put a ton of effort into this throw. You want to feel good at the end of it. You don't have to do too many reps, 8 reps, 10 reps. Really just listen to your arm and what you're feeling about the drill. Okay, the last thing I'm going to show you guys here, or what you guys are going to see on the screen, is some stretching hold patterns that you can do, static stretching. This is really going to return the muscle back to a more natural state after you've exercised, or after you promoted, or after you put yourself into a strenuous state such as pitching or throwing activity. So when you see shoulder across here, you're going to see some behind the back holds. You're going to see some elevated 90 stretches. You'll see some behind the back stretches here. Again, try to work good posture throughout the holds of these stretches. There's not a time limit. I would say try to get in 30 seconds or maybe a little bit longer on your stretching. That way you're not just going into it for 10 seconds and thinking that you've stretched the muscle out and you're done. So it doesn't really work that way. Try to stretch and go into your routine just a little bit longer, and you'll feel a little bit better at the end of the day. All right, so there's recovery and cool down drills for you guys. Again, I hadn't posted that style of routine in a while, or that type of video in a while, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember, this is an important piece to your overall arm health and arm care. We want to do post-throwing routine often to help recovery, to help free up risk of injury, to help with the mobility and flexibility of your shoulder and your arm, and even your hips if you're doing a lower half recovery. So these are going to be important for you guys. I'm Coach Jason, helping you amplify your mechanics and growing your pitching knowledge. If you get a chance, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any more pitching tips, drills, exercises, and workouts. And until I shoot the next video, I'll see you guys next time.